Today is Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor 43, Week 12.
This episode is titled Telenovela, and that was spoken by Karla. She brought the drama.
Boy, did she.
We're kicking it off on day 22. It's a sunrise. None of this post-tribal reaction stuff. It's just together, the six of them on the beach for the sunrise. And Owen tells us that Sammy was a loose cannon and that Owen is disappointed he didn't get to embarrass Karla by having her vote for Cassidy.
Yep.
And Karla was clearly wrong on Sammy's vote. She does not know what's going on anymore. She had the good sense to switch. She had the presence of mind. Something's up, so she switched. But she didn't realize what was really going on.
Well, she had said when she went in to vote, that you could tell she was upset with Sammy, and she said, if you'd have just stuck to the vote, But I thought, how would that have worked if there were only two of them?
That was my point, really, was that she was wrong.
Like,
Her perception of how things were going to go just was not correct.
Was way off.
She had been bamboozled. But Owen assures us that he is now going to further drive that wedge between Cassidy and Karla. And we see him cut to him talking to Cassidy. And once again, reaffirming that Karla was targeting you, Cassidy.
Well, we see Karla and Cassidy talking. And Karla, wow, she really was turning it on. That made me like her less.
She did go telenovela, though. That was soap opera.
Totally.
She went soap opera mode. Yeah.
And she was very proud of it and thought she should win an Emmy for it. But it kind of, I don't know, was too fake. And she didn't think Cassidy was buying her story. That's why she's like, oh, time to turn on the tears. And
Waterworks.
I've kind of never liked people that could do that. I could have never done that if I wanted to. I just can't cry that way. Usually I would only cry if I could not cry. If I couldn't stop myself, I would never cry in front of anyone. But
Karla's sure she's got Jesse in her back pocket, though. She tells Cassidy, go ask Jesse. Go. And then she goes to Jesse and says, go talk to her. Confirm.
And tell her this and blah, blah, blah.
And Jesse does. And he says, oh, yeah, Karla was gunning for you.
Everything everybody said, true.
It was not what Karla wanted. And this has all been a downward spiral for Karla. This is the third episode now. Yeah. Things aren't panning out.
It's like Karla was totally after you, Cassidy. And now Cassidy's like, I'm gunning for Karla.
Those fake tears. She's shady.
We know she likes her revenge. Mm-hmm. So she got it on Ryan.
Yes.
She's trying to get it on Karla.
She busted Ryan for that fake acting. Now she's going to get Karla. And she tells us that Karla has burned the bridge, which you don't want to play with that kind of mindset if you can help it.
No.
I know you're going to be emotional out there for sure, but
it's natural, and it's natural to want to go after somebody and feel that revenge thing. But if you give in to that, you're
closing doors. The big thing is
game.
The biggest thing is you're closing doors. You might miss out on an opportunity further down the road where you actually need each other.
I will file this away and continue forward. It's so okay to have the conversation, but
Well, have the feeling. Want revenge and all that, but then
all of that.
Let go of it, because your question always ideally should be
focused on the
how
goal.
do I keep going? Yes.
How do I stay in the game?
How do
I get the $1 million?
How can I convince someone that I can help them go further so we can work together?
Like Jesse.
Day 22, the reward challenge. What did you think of this one? Going to strap them inside. One person gets strapped inside a big ball,
It was
and then
a pretty good challenge.
two blindfolded people. They've done it before.
I don't know that it was real exciting, but it was interesting to see how well they could do with all the.
If it had been more competitive, it would have been more exciting.
Yes.
But because the blue team was so much better, the Owen directing Karla and Cody, who were blindfolded, so much better than Cassidy's direction of Jesse and Gabler, who were the blindfolded folks for the red team, then it wasn't as exciting because they had those stop gaps. They had those areas where you had only one ball could get through. So that was designed to build excitement. But red ended up falling behind, and it didn't. They just trailed for the rest of it at that point.
And how could you get more uneven with pushing with Gabler and Karla? Karla's very short and Gabler's tall.
Well, okay, so they were on different teams.
Wait, Gabler, I was thinking Gabler was with Karla. Who was with Karla?
Jesse. So the red team was Cassidy inside the ball with Jesse and Gabler blindfolded and pushing. And then the blue team was Owen inside the big ball.
Oh, yeah.
With Karla and Cody. You have a valid point because Karla's injured, but the rest of your point is a little scrambled.
No, I totally was thinking they were together pushing a ball. I totally spaced.
So, yeah, this challenge can be exciting, but those choke points didn't end up being a factor, so it wasn't because Owen did such a better job and got ahead that it wasn't a factor. And they're playing for iced coffee, iced tea, and pastries. These are... Anything's good. Any calories good, and getting a caffeine hit could be good.
But those are going to burn
empty.
off.
Yeah, it's all.
That would be great just before a challenge or something if you needed that great energy boost. But I don't think that's good. They were talking about, oh no, it'll keep me. It'll make it. I'll be great in the challenge tomorrow.
Doesn't work that way.
Sugar doesn't work that way.
It peaks and then you crash.
Yeah,
with those empty.
I thought, and
all those carbs. Yeah,
you are so high on the sugar and the carbs. I thought, what were they thinking? Letting Cody have?
It's some time away.
He doesn't need that.
Yeah. So the red team with Cassidy directing, they struggled. They got stuck at the entrance to the big portion of the course where you have to do a lot more steering, where it's not just sort of rolling forward.
I think she did a pretty good job with directing eventually.
Not really. The thing that was different was that they caught up really quickly.
Yeah.
Even though she chose to be laying sideways, they got Owen oriented really well so he could oversee the board because the two blindfolded people have to be blindfolded as they take each of the corners of the maze, and there's a big ball that they have to roll through that maze where the caller has to direct it. Okay, raise, lower, up, down on your end kind of thing.
To me, that would have been the very hardest part is trying to get that ball through the maze. Even just how much to lift and trying to go, well, one person's direction's not going to match with the other person, right?
You got to come up with some clear way of describing how you want them to move for sure. And it did prove difficult for the blue team because red caught up right at the end. There was actually some tension that it ended up looking close, like a close, tense finish, and then blue pulled it out.
Yeah, blue was right there for a long time trying to get it into down in the basket, but it was just all around it and would go in and come out.
Yeah, they had some in and out.
They didn't have the right pressure because they couldn't see. It's like, okay, sure, raise up, but how far do you raise up? That made a huge difference. If you just do a little bit to get it, or you go too far. And
they stayed calm, and they stuck with it, and Owen and Cody and Karla end up winning the reward.
Pulled it out.
So they are told to go directly to the sanctuary to get your sugary treats.
I had not noticed that. It was one from each of the 3 tribes.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that either at the time.
Well, that's because I'm looking at the roster, and it's like, oh, okay, red, blue, and yellow.
Owen tells us that he's fired up. He's looking forward to checking in with Cody and Karla so they can have some strategy talk at the sanctuary.
He's not fired up. He's just hyped up.
Okay.
But that was kind of cute.
Got to the sanctuary, and Cody's already buzzing on the caffeine and pouring his next cup. So
Yikes.
he was enjoying that, wasn't he?
He was. I'm afraid
Cue-
that might make me feel sick.
Cue the telenovela again. Karla goes for the emotional plea.
Yeah,
Feeling
that's
that
when
she
I
was a
started
target.
to go,
She had won 2 immunity challenges, and she was trying to sell that she didn't have an idol, and it had put a target on her back, so she turned on the waterworks again.
And made them believe her.
Cody said, I don't think she has one. Owen, me either.
Yep, they totally bought it.
But they did circle back around and essentially keep what was roughly their same plan. Hey, if Karla wins, we'll take out Cassidy, and then vice versa.
Yeah,
And
so it doesn't
we're
matter,
going to
blah,
keep the
blah,
boys
blah.
safe. So
But Cassidy played her card. That was her vengeance, really. She got it. She told them, nope, Karla does have an idol.
yeah, let's go back to camp there. So while the blue team was at Sanctuary, Cassidy, Gabler, and Jesse were back at camp, and Cassidy tells us she's just so over it. I liked Gabler's line. He said, it was bitter and it was not sweet. We did not get the treats. He's doing some Dr. Seuss rhyming or something there. That's funny. But he pitches them. He said, hey, we got final 3 right here. What do you say?
I say everyone who's ever been separated at a food challenge said the same thing. And it may or may not mean anything.
You were really impressed with Gabler here. You thought he did a good job planting these seeds, huh? When he's talking to him, telling Jesse, hey, he's got your story, Jesse. And then same with Karla, Cassidy. So either
Well, I'm not sure Jesse had really looked at that. I mean, he knew he was downplaying his role. Now, he did know that some of the people he'd been talking to would be aware of it. But from the outside looking in, it looked like Cody was driving that ship. And I think that was the first time that Cody really Jesse really looked at that and said, wow, he's more out there than I am. If we have the same story, his is going to look better.
one of the truisms of Survivor is perception is everything.
And in that case, I can't beat Cody.
And Gabler is also pretty happy with his camo. So he is camouflaged. He's hiding in plain sight. They do not see him. He even demonstrates for us as he becomes one with the tree.
Yada.
And then Cassidy drops her bomb. Hey, yeah, Karla has an idol. Guaranteed.
Yep. I thought, oh, okay. There we go.
It was a 1-2 punch for Jesse, really. It's like bam, bam. There it is. It's clear.
He's
and
like,
Cody's,
man,
I trust him. We're in
trusted
good.
Cody and all that, and Karla lied to my face.
Gabler's right. How many people thought we'd hear that at this point in the game from Jesse? Gabler's right.
I still don't want to see him win, but
We're in a good spot.
yeah. And I thought that certainly got Jesse's thought process fired up with finding out that he believed Karla's lies.
It was not going well for Karla, for sure.
Well,
in this episode, as soon as they get back, we see Gabler go to Cody rather and say, hey, Karla's got an idol. Cassidy just told us and confirmed it.
Well,
And Cody's response, that stinker. Karla lied to me.
yep. Well, here's the other thing, is I think Jesse thought that he was closer to Karla than anybody else, especially since they got rid of James. And I think he was kind of counting on that. And yet, then he finds out she told Cassidy and not me, even after I asked her several times. And she just flat out lied to me.
Yeah, it seems like he got shook pretty bad on day 22.
Well, I guess that's what he needed.
Cody, though, was buzzing. He said he had his Danish buzz. Watch out, y'all. And he dances for some demonstration. And he offers to give all the guys a kiss on the cheek when they secure the final 5. Because it's going to be an all-guys finale. That's right. It's the He-Man Woman Haters Club. Get out of here.
Oh, well.
Day 23 to the Immunity Challenge. And we've seen this one before. This was Millennials versus Gen X in their final 6. Same basic thing. I did like the choir in the background, the sort of the ominous chanting before they came in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the audio there that stood out. So they've got to race through obstacles. They got to collect numbered tiles to solve a combination lock, and then from there that gives them the keys, and the keys unlock the puzzle pieces for a hanging bat puzzle. That's a tricky puzzle to work out.
And what was the last season that was in?
Millennials versus Gen X.
Yeah.
It was in the it was the final 6 there also, but they were doing a final 6 was the finale.
And I like it that they have to draw for spots, because that kind of eliminates well, that wasn't fair because I got the one on the end and blah, 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 and this was easier than that spot, and I always get this spot, but if they draw for it, it's random. So
Yeah. This was a big one for Millennials versus Gen X because somebody forgets to hide something. It's a key piece of information, and it kind of unravels them at that point. But yeah, we've definitely seen that puzzle before. Looks like they might have touched up the pieces a little since then with some fresh paint. Boy, Karla smacked that side of her face pretty good when she was coming down the back side of the net
she
obstacle
hit that
right at the
big
beginning.
log right in the middle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. It looked like she cracked it.
See, now I'm not trusting anything Karla does. So it's like, well, was she really hurt? Or is she faking again? Or is this dramatic effect? Or is...
Yeah. Let's circle back to that because I wrote that as a question on the way out of the challenge, too.
Okay.
Jesse was last to get there. He was struggling. And we see Owen forgot his key and had to go back.
Turn around and go back.
Yep. And then Jesse ends up being first to get to the puzzle. And Karla was last to start on her puzzle. So she had a good bit of struggle getting through the combination lock.
But Jesse's starting first, and then just we didn't hear from him again.
Right. Probst didn't
Jeff's
highlight him at all.
Nah, him and Gabler were
Not in it.
Not in it at all, obviously.
I think Cody had the legs backwards for the beginning part of his, but he got himself sorted out and then came blazing back.
Well, we both had chosen Cassidy to go home. And
yes.
so,
Initially, I thought it was going to be Karla, so I was starting to kick myself a little bit.
Yeah.
As we're going through the episode, because I was just thinking, this is just worse and worse for Karla. And I don't know if she's going to know to play it. I don't know if she's going to know to save herself. Yeah, so we were hoping that...
I gave her too much credit looking at it from what really happened. I thought, oh, Karla will pick up on it. She'll play it if she feels anything at all.
But in the puzzle, she was doing really good, and they were kind of going back and forth between... It was basically a showdown between Cassidy and Karla, and then Karla announced that her hands were numbing. Now, I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together. You think that had anything to do with the crack on the head?
It could have, because you know how I get things when my neck's out.
Yeah.
And it can cause nerve reactions, numbing, pain. Absolutely, if it kind of messed with her neck. And I can't see how it didn't, the way she kind of hit. So it could have been, or you suggested that, yeah, but maybe she's faking. Maybe she's just not doing as well as she thought.
I thought she might have been crumbling under the pressure, and then she started some kind of cover story. See, with the fake crying, you just start suspecting all kinds of things where...
Exactly. I could not believe how much that changed the way I thought about her.
You twisted your ankle while you were standing there.
How did you twist your ankle standing there?
Really? And then all of this is not working because you're not solving the puzzle. And
then the muscle spasms, but I know a whole lot about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it can be debilitating, truly.
But as we were recapping the actual event, I was thinking, oh yeah, she had that head crack. So
yeah,
maybe that triggered some other things that happened.
I think it probably did, but now I'm not trusting whatever she says.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
I even wrote a note.
is she
Did her
really
body really
crying?
shut down all
Did
at
her
once
butt
like
really-
that? Because, yes, everything's suspect when
Is
you're
it feasible? Yes, it can.
Yes.
Because I've actually had mine where I
Well, her ankle was
couldn't-
pre-taped anyway because of other
Yeah.
injuries that she's had.
Yeah,
And we
she's
know
already
that she
had
had
problems, so.
stitches in one of her fingers, and her hands been giving her trouble.
and going back and forth the way she was, it would have been very easy to twist it. So yeah, and but
All that line just my ability to believe that she was experiencing those things went out the window. I'm like,
I
oh, she's
know.
faking because she can't figure it out.
well, because she was so good at it.
Yeah,
You know, it's like
I don't know that it makes
I
sense,
could not
but-
bring tears up like that if my life depended on it.
Well, she seemed to be doing really good. I thought she was on track to win. So how could you be that close and not go ahead if she wasn't really experiencing those things? Anyway, it ended up being
Yeah.
an aspect of it
I
for
think
me.
it was probably legitimate.
So Cassidy wins, and it turns out Cody was just seconds away from finishing his off, too. So, yep, heartbreak for him for sure. Okay, back at camp,
Dang.
there's a colorful bat flying around. I guess that's great to follow the bat puzzle that we just saw. And we're back at camp, and Owen and Gabler are talking and about how it could be them or Jesse.
And that told us that maybe Jesse hasn't told anyone that he has Janine's idol,
Right?
because they think Jesse's vulnerable too. So I was like, yes.
Well, at least they don't know, but it wouldn't really be a surprise that Owen and Gabler don't know. They've been left out of so much in that
True.
regard.
True.
But they're concerned that it could be them because Karla and Cody have idols they can play. So, yep.
Well,
Okay, time for the big brain plan. Here comes Cody.
had a very good, solid plan to go to Karla and say, hey, let's just tell them all out front, we're playing our idols.
Yeah, and we'll target
And it ain't
Gabler or
gonna be
Owen,
us.
just like Gabler and Owen were just saying and worried about.
So who do you want to go home? Pick one and we'll vote for them, because I'm not going anywhere.
Karla's on board, so she goes to Gabler and said, hey, would you vote for Owen? Gabler's like, oh, yeah. And then she goes to Owen, would you vote for Gabler? You bet.
No, he was kind of like, well, if he had to, he would. What was
It's
it?
coming together. Well, as he later says, as long as it's not me, he's got it.
Yep, he would do it. So then
Karla's
Cody
working the scare
just flat
tactic.
out says, I'm lying to Karla so we can get her out
Yeah.
of the game. And he tells Owen and Jesse and make sure they're on board and our relationship is good, he said.
He tells us that he's a quick learner. If she's going to lie, I'm going to lie better.
Yep, but he trusts his boy, Jesse.
Yep, and he's getting the amigos vote together. Let's get rid of them women. Jesse has a moment. This was interesting.
He can't
Right, this
be
is where it all-
Cody's follower.
He can't be seen as Cody's number two.
That got in his head.
Yep, that grew and grew and grew.
So good on Gabler for that one.
Tree was born. Yep, a Gabler tree.
I don't know that wasn't already in Jesse's mind somewhat, but I think he really got fixated on that then, like, whoa, wait a minute, that could be a big mistake.
And when he asked himself that question, can I beat him? The answer appeared to be no.
I don't think I can.
Yeah.
And I have to make a move against Cody. I have to be more brutal.
He is here to secure his family's future, he tells us. He's not here for the experience.
Yep, and Cody is still very trusting and
And then it took
They are locked
yet
in.
another turn where we see Jesse tell Owen, didn't see this coming at all, I have Cody's idol.
yeah, I didn't
Surprise.
see that.
Yeah.
I didn't. There's so many twists
Why-
and turns in this episode.
All of
It
a
was
sudden, he
awesome.
trusts Owen, to that degree. And then we see Owen tell Cassidy, Jesse's got Cody's idol.
Well, but why wouldn't he go to Owen? Because Owen knows it could be him.
The editors really worked us on this one.
Worked us good.
Because they cut back to Cody where he was talking to Karla, and he offers to show her his idol. And she's like, yeah, sure, I'd love to see it.
And Owen gets Cassidy and Gabler. They're all on board. Yeah, okay. And
So Cody goes and gets his idol from Jesse, and now Jesse's like,
man.
ruh-roh. And we see Jesse do the right thing, and he tells Cassidy and Owen, I gave the idol back.
And the plan's up in smoke if he doesn't give it back to me. I thought, why would he give it back to you? He's going to tribal council.
I thought he was going to blow it when Cody came to him because he told Cody, I don't think that's a good idea. But I guess he did everything in a smooth enough way. It didn't
Well, he did it
send off
because
alarm bells.
Cody was genuine. He only wanted it to take it and show Karla just so she would have no doubts that he really did have one. And I think that was a good plan. And we got to look at the idol because it hadn't dawned on me before that the beads for that Cody had were red for the red tribe, and Karla's was blue for the blue tribe, which will be important when we get to tribal council.
Yeah. And we get a quick Cody confessional before we head to tribal council, and he tells us tonight's blindside will be the season's biggest. And we were having a discussion when they went to commercial there that, yeah, it really seems like no one knows Jesse has an idol.
Not even Janine.
Yeah. Okay, to tribal council, night 23. Sammy's smiling from the jury. He's awfully happy.
Yep.
He didn't seem to be holding any grudges. Karla tells us that she is physically exhausted and lists a litany of issues she experienced
All I
throughout the day.
heard was, poor, pitiful me. And I thought, I couldn't buy that one.
I didn't hear it all because I watched Cassidy look away like she wasn't having any of it.
Yeah.
So them crocodile tears. Yeah.
And I'm hungry. We're out of rice, Jeff. It's like y'all ate all your rice and didn't. They,
of course.
Well, okay.
Well, they planned to eat it while the blue team was at Sanctuary. The red team said, yeah, let's finish off the rice.
Well, all I could see was, oh, poor pitiful me. Have everybody, feel sorry for me.
Cody talks for a minute about how he was seconds away from solving that puzzle, and it was a real bummer.
And Jesse.
He really kicked it off. Those others were just some preliminary things.
Who gets the telenovela now?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Jesse's like, hey, they all
safe.
they're safe. Cody, Cassidy, and Karla, and Jeff's like, well, why? Well, they have idols.
Karla said, yep, all these idol rumors made me a target, but I'm going to play mine tonight.
But Noelle wasn't buying it from the jury. She didn't think there'd be any idols
No, she said $10 says no idols are played.
Well, she better pay up.
It's a bluff.
Yeah. And, wow.
I didn't buy Cody's explanation. He said, well, I've got one, and I either play it tonight or tomorrow night, so why not tonight? It's like, wait a second. You'd be way better off
till tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And
your answer should have been the same as Karla's. The why not tonight thing just sounded a little off.
Well, and Jesse's like, I can't make the call on that.
I had to play along.
There's not too many big moves. Just tell me who to vote for, and I'll do whatever. And I'm thinking, Jesse, what are you doing? You're just telling the jury that you're Cody follower and just doing whatever you're told to do.
Great setup.
I thought, why are you doing that, though? Ha.
Owen tells us there's one vote that could send him out tonight, so yes, he is still concerned. And then Cody says, yep, could be one vote, but it's not going to be me.
Yep, he is 95% certain it won't be him. And that he's 95% certain he knows who's going.
Karla concurs that she, too, is confident that she's not going anywhere.
Well, and again, they show Noelle in the jury saying, Karla looks like me going up those stairs.
Oh, when they go to vote?
Yeah,
I was just going to say.
She was kind of banged up.
Oh, yeah. Yep. She was definitely having some trouble walking. I mean, Cody had made that colorful walking stick for her.
Yeah.
Which was also part of it was kind of backhanded in a way. Here you go. Use this on your way out.
You don't usually see them give the people in the jury focus.
Sure they do. Oh, absolutely they do.
No, they do showing on them, but they don't let them say too much. But they have more this season, seems like.
They've been doing that for multiple seasons.
Yeah.
Going for big jury reactions.
Like highlighting more.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Gabler tells us he's pretty confident he'll see tomorrow. And when Jesse says he's not trying to make big moves, you see the jury reacting. And anyone, Owen confirms that he was following the book of Sandra. Anyone but me.
Yep. As long as it ain't me. So it is
Probst comes back with the votes.
And whoa.
They're looking around where these idols we heard were going to be played.
Okay, time to play the idol, and everybody's just looking at everybody else. And I was floored when Jesse popped up and said, well, he's got a new social contract.
Uh-huh.
And he's going to call the bluffs. And he went up to play the idol, and I'm thinking, all right, well, at least he's going to be safe. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to play this for Owen, Jeff. And I'm like, whoa, what? What just happened? It's like, wow.
And Cody's upset.
Floored.
Really, bro? Really?
Well.
And it stunned Karla. She just couldn't. You could tell she was processing, but
she's like, what's happening? What's happening?
Yeah,
I don't know what's
happening. But finally, I think the danger bell came through clearly, so she played hers for herself.
Well, and Jesse called that. He totally called that. She will play it. If we play this, she will play it.
This is really the multi-level beauty of this, because it's a flush of her idol, and turns out
beautiful.
It's the big blindside of the season, as Cody
called it.
Yeah,
you're right, Cody. It was.
And Cody is voted out. We saw one vote for Owen, which didn't count. One vote for Karla, which didn't count. And then here come three more. Turned out it was actually four for Cody.
Mm-hmm.
And he is voted out. Jesse tells him, I am sorry.
And Jesse sat there and totally claimed the move. And the jury was that was Jesse.
Jesse did that.
Jesse did that.
That's what Noelle says. Jesse did that.
They had to bleep her a little bit.
Yes, at the end.
It was like, so, whoa, Jesse. The only thing is that was brilliant. And yes, that could win you the game if you can get to the final three. Mm-hmm. Yes, okay, you should have an idol for next week.
Because the one he played appeared to be the one
Cody had.
Cody had shown Karla.
It looked like kind of pink beads, but we're thinking it was the red ones. Even though they looked pink, you thought maybe it was the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely wasn't yellow, and Janine's would have been yellow. So I think
it definitely has yellow
Cody
features,
out with
like
his
vodka.
own idol. So Cody must have given it back to him.
Yes.
To hold.
Now
I have no idea.
Well, no, you did have an idea. Your thought was that Jesse said, do you want me to hold it in case someone has got a knowledge of power again? You know how they like to bring those back, and they're looking for it to actually have an impact on the game.
Well,
and you clearly just showed it to her. What if she's got knowledge as power, too, and she takes it away from you and plays it to save her? Something to that degree. That was.
Yeah, could have been.
I'm elaborating, but that was what you said was a possibility for how Jesse might have convinced him. Good stuff.
And Cody wouldn't have thought anything about that. You want me to hold it again for you, bro? You know, got my bag right here. And I don't think Cody thought a thing about it. That's why it was so shocking. And I still feel so sad for him.
For as long as he let Jesse hold it, too, to try to protect it.
Yes. It does. It was awesome. I loved the blindside and all that. But I am also equally sad for Cody. And, you know, that's a big punch in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a tough one.
It was a gut punch
from your bro.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, your ride or die just
really,
ran
bro?
you over.
Yes. But don't worry, Jesse will explain. I think it'll go something like this. See, it was a game for $1 million, and I wanted to win. So right. I got rid of you, my biggest competition.
Yeah.
It's a pretty complicated story, but I bet they'll sort it out. Anyway, he got a shake and a hug
Cody
on his way out.
No
explanation necessary.
Yeah. I thought that was really big on Cody's part because, you know, he would have kind of liked to punch Jesse in the belly or something. But, like, bro, what did you just do?
Look at that. You got to say bro again.
Okay. Anyway.
Cody was harboring a little bit because at the end of his confessional, he gave him the double bird. It was specifically for Jesse.
Yeah. No, well, you know there's going to be a lot more said than that once it really sinks in. He was trying to be nice for the cameras Because you could tell he didn't really want to, hug Jesse. Oh.
He paused a little, but then he stepped up.
He did. He
Acknowledged
did.
he had been bested.
And that was awesome. And yes, it's a game and all that. But you could tell it hurt.
As soon as Cody's gone doing his walk of shame, Probst tells him, "You are the final 5, and you are now off to a new beach."
And guess who the new target is?
Dig in and hang on.
The biggest target now will become Jesse, because everybody saw how the jury reacted.
How he got credit for that, yeah.
Yep. So even though Cassidy and Gabler and Owen
played a
helped
part,
make that happen, Jesse got full credit. And he was his idea, and he's the one that had the idol and had Cody's trust. So the others couldn't have made that.
So
work.
he's guaranteed Final Four now. He's holding the Baca immunity bracelet.
If we are correct,
Mm-hmm.
and that was Cody's idol he played,
Right.
he would still have Janine's.
Right.
And
So he's guaranteed Final Four.
As far as we know, nobody knows it.
And he's got, which would give the second big, or maybe the third big feather in his cap to play that, to send himself into Final Four at the beginning of the finale next week.
Yeah, because, I don't know that he has that much of a resume on record. I mean, we've seen him
Well, he's part of the majority. He was part of the majority.
Yeah,
and
he was.
He's voted right all those times.
But he's the only one that has won no immunity.
Yeah, but
no
that doesn't
individual
actually mean
immunity.
anything in Survivor. It hasn't for
It
years.
does with some people, and you never know if it will play in or not.
I don't think we've ever seen someone win Survivor because of their, and have it be acknowledged because of your outstanding performance. We've had some people that won, had great immunity challenge success. They were able to keep themselves in the game even though they were targeted again and again and again. There are those stories, but they're not necessarily the winner because of their immunity challenge performance.
Okay, so tell me this. Do you think that they will target Jesse next?
Yes.
Or do you think Cassidy will still be so focused on revenge on Karla that will still be her primary goal, is to get Karla.
To stumble out.
And don't let her go to the Final Four.
Yeah. So let's do next time on Survivor. We see Cassidy talking to
sure.
Karla and saying, "I'm not an idiot." And then Karla says, "She's not my pal." So there's some substance to what you're saying, for sure. They could be scrambled by that.
And they're all on a new beach. So
Yeah, which is the thing they've been doing in these seasons, where they send them off at Final Five for a start over, and then there'll be an advantage in the next challenge where they get to like skip a stage, or
it showed
have less to do.
Gabler holding one that said
He was holding his
final
clue.
advantage.
Yeah. So it'll be like a riddle, or go find the giant's toe, and it's a rock that kind of looks like a giant's foot or something like that. Yeah.
And Jesse says, "This is where it gets real."
I think it got real.
It got real, Jesse.
Well, and it got real for all the people who were out of the game and in the jury quite a while ago. So.
And we have no idea what Owen is so furious about, that he's beating on things and kicking and
chopping
stomping
coconuts and kicking sand
he's
and
furious about something.
roaring. Rawr. Yes.
Maybe he just missed the advantage, or he was right there and he didn't do it.
And Karla yanked it away right out from under me.
Karla?
Yeah.
Or
since she's Lucy and pulling the football away from
I
Charlie
see.
Brown.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Well, did you enjoy this episode? We didn't get the vote out right. As a matter of fact, we lost safe points, so we had a bad week. But what did you think of the episode overall?
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was awesome, even though I'm still really sad for Cody.
Yeah.
And I hated to see him go. I liked him.
He said his heart was crushed.
His heart was crushed.
But he can't fault
Poor
him.
baby.
He can't fault Jesse for what he did.
Well, he will fault Jesse when he gets
We
back.
said he can't fault him, and then he double birded him.
Will,
So,
so,
yeah.
I mean, there's the logical, well, this is a game and and I need to be a good sport. And then there's the
Yes.
yeah, no. Let me tell you how I really feel right now.
Did me wrong. Yes.
Yep. And that doesn't go away overnight. So, and the vote is not far away. What was that, night 23? The vote's in 3 days.
Yeah.
So
it's really, the action happens in 2 more days, and then they go to final tribal council.
yep.
Yep.
So that's not long for him to get over it.
No, it's no time.
Knowing that, because I truly believe he already felt he was going to win.
Had a lock on it.
And was
He was about
definitely
to
in
pull
final
off
3.
the biggest blindside of the season. Just didn't
Yep.
know that it was coming his way. He got hit by the bus.
Well, let's see. Karla voted for Owen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that had to really shake her, because that was brilliant to tell her Owen, whoever told her Owen.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as he played it for Owen,
Gotta think it was Jesse.
She had to go, oh,
Yeah.
they're after me. It's me if I don't. I got to play it.
I love that moment she had where they cut to her and her eyes are squinting. She's like, okay, he told me to vote for Owen. Now he saved Owen. So I better play this and save me, or I'm not going to be around.
Who did Cody vote for?
Karla.
Yeah, he voted Karla.
There was one for Owen, one for Karla.
Yeah.
And the rest for Cody.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. It was exciting. We didn't get any of that right. Once again, we imagined a completely incorrect fan fiction on the vote out. But we had fun thinking about it. We had fun with the listener feedback show, trying to come up with those ideas. And then we had fun watching the episode and see it all play out in its unique and different ways. And yeah, you got to be impressed with Jesse. He seems like a cinch to win at this point. Can you imagine he doesn't win after all this? His story's going to get better at Final 5 when he goes to 4. If he chokes on fire and loses.
I could see him not win. Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know if he's any good at the fire.
Because
he's guaranteed Final 4, but he's not guaranteed Final 3.
Because he's not a challenge winner, so he's most likely not going to decide. He's very likely will get sent to make fire.
Exactly. That's my point. And if he doesn't win that,
gone.
He's gone.
To the jury.
That's it.
Who's going to beat him? They're going to send Gabler up against him, and then Gabler's going to be the hero and take Jesse out?
Can Gabler make fire?
Don't know. I'm just trying to imagine some dramatic scenario. What if it's Owen? What if Charlie Brown does it?
Owen and Cassidy could do it. Oh, Lord.
If Cassidy does it, she wins. Huh.
Ooh. Cassidy, Gabler, and Owen in Final 3. Oh. Well, maybe that won't happen. I guess I would have to cheer for Owen at that point.
Yeah.
I have to go back to Owen because he really has had to fight the hardest to stay in and for the longest.
Mm.
So, the comeback story, I'm always a sucker for. But anyway, we won't count Jesse out yet because he's still my USB,
He's got a rap on it right now. If he can somehow get past fire, it seems like he's our season winner. Which that certainly, I feel okay with that.
Or if he could win a challenge.
You can see at this point how there could be some dramatic turns, and you could be okay with anyone winning. Although I think this jury's going to give him a hard time. Noelle was not having it. She seems pretty stoked up. She wants him to be playing better. We didn't get a lot of reaction out of James. She kept trying to turn to James and pull him into the reaction thing, but he
didn't seem to care.
He stayed real even, disconnected or something.
He wasn't showing
even looking
emotions
away
about anything really much.
Yeah.
But I could tell.
But Ryan and Janine,
engaged.
Ryan and Janine reacted. Sammy was reacting as they walked in.
Yeah, the only one I didn't see really react was James much, and maybe he's just good at poker face.
Or he might be still a little butthurt.
Yeah.
We thought he might be a little resentful about all that. Okay, all right, so we can speculate some more in the listener feedback show. How about a JSFL update? Somebody got it right, didn't they?
I can do that. Yes, it wasn't us, but somebody did. Well, first off, Amy in SoCal is now in first place with 55 points. But Rashmi only moved down 1 point.
Clever.
She's nipping at her heels. And there were 29 people who lost their USB. 176 people lost a safe point, including us.
Yep.
And 18 people earned a vote-off point.
Congrats.
Congrats.
I hope we hear from some of them in the listener feedback show.
Side challengers. Jeremiah still in first with 53. With 51, congratulations, Parker.
Parker.
You are the only one in the side challenge who got the vote off correct this week. 5-point week.
Coming in with the clutch 5 point before the finale.
Second, congratulations.
Good job. All right, let's hear an explanation.
Okay. 49 points, Rebecca.
Yeah.
48, Chris. 47, Stacy.
Still hanging in the middle.
46, almost.
I stumbled.
Almost.
But I didn't yo-yo.
46, Justin. 45, Robert. And 44, Cold Mike.
All right. Sounds
Now
good.
remember, other people were in the bottom, but they didn't stay in the bottom after that, the finale, because there is a lot of points up for grabs in the finale.
Indeed there is.
There's 50 points just for the final four order, if you get that correct. Another 5 points if you have all your enough safe left and you guess the right person. So that's 55 points there. And if you got anybody for USB, whether it's 5, 10, or 24 points, there's extra points.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter where you are right now. You could still win.
You'd almost be tempted to think that we had designed it that way, that somehow there could be a surprise win at the end.
Yep, there you go.
Just like in the game. Who would you be most surprised as our winner this season?
Cassidy.
Yeah?
Or Gabler.
Definitely Gabler. What if he is
I
just
guess
a
Gabler.
great... Yeah. Gabler
I
was
didn't even
mine.
want to think that was a possibility.
Yeah.
Okay, I let my mind go there.
And he
It's
gives
like,
the great
no,
Alligabler allegory field
No, you gotta
final
give
speech.
him credit. He's been really working people. You see little insights like kicking Jesse and Cassidy off.
Planted that seed.
That whole
both those seeds.
Yeah, I mean Jesse ran with it, but Gabler was the instigator.
You know that great story Jesse just told you? Well, I helped light that fire. He might have a little
who's gonna believe
list
it?
of those.
Who's gonna believe him though? I don't know that they would, but I don't know. Maybe they see it. They're seeing a totally different side to him. But I do see that he has played the game.
Yes, that's one of the things that we don't have any real benefit on. We used to get some of it through the interviews. The interviews nowadays seem kind of vanilla, and you don't get as much of how they perceived each other.
Oh, after doing the interview, I could do a 180 on somebody.
Because it was a way to do a point in time in the game perception check, how they felt about the other players. That was one of the things we always tried to make sure to do, because you can't get a sense of that. They don't reveal that very much in the edit, if at all.
Well, it's very different when you meet people and, you're around them in person and you get a better feel for who they really are. It doesn't come across in their edits. We know that that's not all of who they are, so...
Well, I'm already looking forward to the listener feedback show on Saturday. I'd love to have you show up on this one. Get your guesses in for the finale. What do you think that final five order is going to be?
Goodness.
Go on the record. Here's your chance to get out there and make a public declaration. You're good at reading it? Prove it. Send us a note. You can call the voicemail line 206-350-1547, toll free 844-643-8737. You can shoot us a quick email at joanneandstacyshow@gmail.com, or you can record your own audio and send it over. I'll edit it up. I'll make it sound snappy. You can take all the pauses in the world that you want while you're recording it. The voicemail line's not as forgiving, but you can send an audio with a minute-long pause in it as you think your way through something, and then I'll just automatically shorten it. It isn't a big deal.
Yeah, that's what he always tells me. If you don't know what you're going to say, don't sit there and say, just be quiet and think about it.
We'll let it.
No problem. I can delete that very easily.
Yes.
And then you'll
it's harder
say,
to find the filler words.
You were riding the train tonight.
Well, I'll go back and I'll hear both of us doing it. Nobody's perfect for sure. Yeah.
I can't always if I'm thinking.
Well, I'll do
about
my
something
best to
else.
make you sound good. That's what I was trying to say. And Joanne and Stacy Show at gmail.com for that email. So send it in. Get your predictions in for the final 5. Who do you think's doing
You're
their best?
basically doing the final 6 by choosing the final 5, but you'll only
You mean
for
4?
JSFL.
You meant to say 4, right? 'Cause
No, I didn't. I meant to say exactly what I.
there are only 5
wait,
people left, so
wait.
you might want to.
Oh, I was looking up there.
Wind
There's
it up.
6 people still up there.
The
So,
roster
yes,
doesn't get
it's
updated
the final,
this early.
I know, but I was looking at it, and that's why I saw 6.
Yep.
So, okay,
I
yes,
got your
it's
back.
the final 5 order. And hopefully that will update tonight and be ready to receive your final 5 order.
Yes. Yeah, so we're looking forward to hearing from you. The feedback's due noon Pacific time on Saturday. We ask that you keep it in that 3-minute range so we can get everybody in. We've been all season long, just awesome shows, different takes on everything. And sometimes people say something that you're like, wow, I never considered that. I didn't have that experience. That's cool to hear someone draw from that personal space. Or sometimes they'll just share moments that they've had and enjoying Survivor, things that we all appreciate and look forward to hearing about.
Yeah, we're always, even when we do the Jabbik show, you and I are always shocked at how different our opinions can be about somebody. And then we do the Jabbik part 2, and there's just so many different
I
opinions.
like it because it mirrors their
Yes.
experience to some degree in the game too. They don't know, they're judging each other just by these outward appearances or actions, and then all of a sudden they're talking to them and they get a completely different view of that person, and they go, oh yeah, I actually do want to work with you.
I get to see different, have different ideas from a different perspective that I would have never seen because that just wasn't in my head. Mm-hmm. And it makes it way more interesting.
Absolutely. So we look forward to hearing from you. Anything else we need to cover?
Nope. I think we just need to go watch it again.
All right. Off for our second watch. Have a good one.